Earthquake has been detected northeast of Lebanon, New Jersey, and we want to head to our affiliates that are actually breaking in with their local coverage. This is our coverage from our New York City affiliate, so we're going to pot up the sound and listen in.
And was looking at us, and just to put it into perspective of how we were handling things here, our morning editorial meeting was still ongoing, so all of the managers were in our news director's office. At me, Chris Welch, Michelle Ross, Morgan Mackay were in the newsroom side just working on our story. I was working on a report for the noon show in regards to the very latest on what's going on in the Middle East with what's going on in Israel, and the desk just started shaking. And just to put it into perspective, Michelle Ross sits next to me, and Morgan Mackay sits across from me. And we were all doing literally like this the whole time. And at first we thought that maybe someone was pushing, you know, like a heavy container or something, one of our custodial staff or an engineer. And then we felt that above. And, you know, let's just be honest, Kurt and Rosanna, this is an old building. So we all jumped up and were quickly trying to figure out what was going on. And at that point, that's when the managers came out of our news director's office, and we all started to congregate around here in the newsroom. And everybody's on the phone just trying to figure it out. So what Stephanie was reporting, and Bertini actually sits next to me, and so our row, we literally were trembling the whole time. And then we just started trying to get more information, and at this point then your text messages started coming in. I live in Harlem, and our building is uptown there, so a couple of my neighbors in our group chat started to send messages like, what is going on, what is happening? And then as we're now learning that this has been confirmed, the information you see right there, a 4.8 earthquake struck near Lebanon, New Jersey. We're understanding that it reached across the tri-state. We're still trying to get more information. Back there, Jonathan is up at our assignment desk trying to get information there. Imaz running around in the back. This literally just caught us off guard, as it did everybody else in the area. And again, Kurt, I didn't see you when you came in, but just our staff, we didn't know what was going on. And then we were trying to gather information, and this is what we have so far. And we're still trying to do that, still trying to get more information, and still trying to just figure out where things stood. But it was quite a shock, still very much going on right now in our newsroom, still trying to figure out what it is. And I will let everybody know, in a situation like this where there is an all hands on deck, when
you guys were half naked, I saw.
That's what I was about to talk about, Rosanna. You knew what I had on when you came around the corner. And back in the back, Becky Spitz, our writer, was helping me get dressed and putting on a tie and a jacket, because it was like, you got to get on there, you got to get on there. It's like, okay, we'll hop right in front of the camera. So literally everybody's helping everybody because we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I just grabbed a jacket. They say, hey, go on air. And I'm like, I've already changed clothes. Then I just grab a jacket and go upstairs. Thank you, Antoine. You know,
all right, I'll be here.
All right, we will get more updates. You know, 4.8, and this is actually the 4th earthquake in the last week in the New York City area. Now, we have earthquakes all the time. They do all over the country. Yeah. The others were right about 2.1 magnitude or 1.8 for 2 of them. So those previous 3, nobody really felt shake. So this one, a huge one, though.
Let me ask you, you live in California most of the time.
I was just texting the whole time. It's like I didn't even get up from the desk and move. I'm not trying to be that guy.
So this was like nothing. This was like a baby earthquake to you.
I wouldn't say a baby because it went on so long, and you did feel it.
It felt like 10 or 15 seconds. I'm like,
yeah, it was. It really was about that long. Yeah.
But the sound was so loud.
At first, I was sitting in the office, and I'm like, is there a subway line here that I'm not familiar with that's moving by? And then I'm like, oh, it's an earthquake. And I just kept on texting.
Maybe this
because I knew it wasn't that big a deal. It didn't feel like that big a deal.
Because the Yankees have their home opener today? What do you think? Do you think they felt it over?
Well, Tina Cervasio is there in the Bronx right now. Tina, did you guys feel it up there at all? Especially being outdoors, because sometimes it's hard to tell.
Exactly, Kurt and Rosanna. And what's so interesting is we are here at Yankee Stadium watching batting practice. And of course, they've got the music cranked and the bass pumping. So I was running up the dugout stairs and felt myself lose balance. And the music was pumping, and I grabbed my coat thinking I tripped. Maybe that was the time of the earthquake. And then immediately my phone started ringing, and we got news of that 4.8 registered. That's the latest that I'm getting. I have spoken to several people here at Yankee Stadium. Stadium, a lot of people felt it. I spoke to Pete Caldera. He is a longtime Yankees beat reporter for the Bergen Record. He said he absolutely felt the ground shaking beneath his feet. He was right behind home plate. Everyone's waiting for Juan Soto to come out. He thought, oh, maybe Juan Soto is making his appearance, and the ground is shaking for this great baseball player and this great hitter. But they were all standing in a circle, and he said it lasted about 7 seconds. And they were all saying to each other, is that the music? And no, the ground beneath them was shaking. And then I spoke to Yes Network dugout reporter, or clubhouse reporter, Meredith Marakovitz, and she was conducting an interview on tape with tomorrow's starting pitcher, and she felt it as well. She said, you know, I'm doing my interview and I feel the ground shaking. Everyone immediately thinks it's the music, and we've been in here, and I know, Rosanna, you've been inside Yankee Stadium during the postseason when they announce Aaron Judge, or someone hits a 2-run home run to go ahead and the place shakes. She said, but what was different was your feet are on the ground here on the infield, actually on this warning track here by the dugout, and you feel that shaking from underneath you. And we know that there are no subways that are running underneath Yankee Stadium exactly. Everyone kind of referred to maybe it's a Mack truck, but no, people felt the ground shaking here at Yankee Stadium. Of course, you know, everyone's trying to make some correlation with the season being special, and, you know, Juan Soto making his Yankees debut, and Marcus Stroman is a New York native. He is the starting pitcher today. But, you know, in the end, there might be some serious situations out there. People have felt it. I'm also going to add real quick, Kurt and Rosanna, I'm getting texts from my husband, Kevin McCurney. We live in Cedar Grove, New Jersey, and it shook for 10 seconds. He said our house really shook significantly. He works from home. Our cats both got scared. They were running and freaking out. He said one of the entire house shook, and one of the cabinet doors even opened. It was a solid 10 seconds. So that is from New Jersey, Cedar Grove, New Jersey, about 18 miles from where I'm standing right now. So that is some of the information I'm getting, but that's kind of the buzz here at Yankee Stadium right now. Juan Soto playing his first game at the stadium, as well as an earthquake that just hit the New York area. So I'll send it back to the studio for now.
It's a day that people will remember there. You know, I want to ask you one question, since you got a text from your husband, and maybe he didn't include it there. But one of the things that you pay attention to is whether things start falling off the shelf or pictures start falling off the wall. Well, it tells you how strong it is. They have downgraded it slightly from a 4.8 to 4.7, but still, that's enough to shake things off the shelf.
So I just want you to know.
There. I just want, real quick, before we let Tina go. Did your husband say anything fell?
No, he did not say anything fell. I'm trying to text him back. He's getting word that Tewksbury was the epicenter. I know my husband's not a news reporter, but my sister lives in Tewksbury. Unfortunately, she's on vacation this week, so I can't even contact her about that. But yes, we have sources.
Okay,
right,
thanks, Tina. Hey, listen, I just want to let you know what the mayor's office is tweeting right now. Fabian Levy, he's saying, in case of an aftershock, drop to the floor, cover your head and neck, take additional cover under a solid piece of furniture next to an interior wall or doorway. Because like my friend Amy's like, I'm in a high rise, should I leave? No.
Right.
The police do not want you to call them unless there is an emergency. My friend Zelda in Quogue said she felt it out east as well. So people are feeling it in a very large swath of our area.
Yeah, this has been felt all over, centered in New Jersey, felt in the city, Long Island, Connecticut. We're getting reports from all over as we continue to talk about this earthquake, which, you know, a lot of people in New York, not this severe, have not felt it before. You know, you get small earthquakes from time to time.
The last time we had an earthquake, and it definitely was not this big, I was getting a pedicure.
Okay,
And I snuck out of work, and the boss was looking for me. And I had no idea because, you know, I was getting a vibration in the pedicure. I got so much trouble that day. Thank goodness we're both here today. Greg T. from Z100, he felt it. He's in Marlborough, New Jersey. But I guess New Jersey might be a little closer to where this...
Yeah, they said Tewksbury, New Jersey, which is right outside Lebanon, New Jersey, was the epicenter. 4.7, if you're just joining us, is the official word from the U.S. Geological Society. And right now, let's go back outside to the Upper East Side. Stephanie Bertini is there, where she's had more of a chance to talk to New Yorkers. Stephanie.
You know, between the text that I'm getting from friends and my photographers as well, when you're a news crew, of course, you're coming out and you're covering it, but people want to know, hey, did you feel it? Hey, what's going on? So you mentioned where this is being felt across the 5 boroughs. We've heard from people from the Bronx, from Long Island, from Westchester, from New Jersey, and from this resident who's joining us live, living right here in the Upper East Side. Ariana Cohn?
Yes.
Tell me, well, you have a little baby.
I do.
So what was your first thought as a mom?
I was home with my 1-year-old, and my 1-year-old started screaming. She was the first one to feel it, and just craziness. Thank God everyone's okay. This never happens in Manhattan.
And so you live in a building?
Yes.
And so what exactly did you feel? Can you describe it for the viewers?
The whole building started shaking. I have friends on the bottom floor, I have friends on the top floor, I'm in the middle, the whole building.
So once you realized, okay, the shaking is over, what did you do next?
Took my baby out for a nice walk. Well, I checked in with friends and family, of course, first.
You know, it was interesting because right before the live shot, I asked this woman, would you talk to us? And she's like, yeah. And what I saw on your face was a look of relief. And I'm guessing it's because it seems everything's okay.
Yes, thank heavens.
When something like this happens, though, it really sort of hits home how things in life can just change in an instant. So what are you feeling kind of grateful now in this moment?
Grateful for friends and family, my child, everyone's okay.
Thanks for talking to us, and I'm happy you're okay and that, you know, you seem relieved, Mom.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day.
So, again, that's kind of the sentiment out here. Relief overall, and also people wanting to know what exactly happened. Interestingly enough, I did talk to a few people who said, yeah, I'm hearing through texts, through calls, through social media that there might have been an earthquake, but I didn't feel it. The majority of people, though, say they felt the shaking.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. I think that's what you're finding, you know, and we're seeing the young lady that she was able to speak to smiling and saying she went out and took her kid out for a walk. You know, I think this is going to be, hopefully, again, knock on wood, no reports of any damage. One of those things you just kind of go, hey, remember back in 2024?
Where were you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so different than the last time we had a significant, not LA worthy, but significant earthquake.
And you don't want to belittle it. I mean, people felt this thing, and if you're not familiar with earthquakes, it kind of scares you for the first time.
Can you imagine being on the subway when this happened? Do you know who was? Mike Woods. All right, Mike Woods, he got off the subway. What happened? What did it feel like down underground?
So, yes, I was underground when this was actually happening. And I was on my way to get a haircut, and I started getting texts and calls, and I wasn't quite sure. By the way, I'm stepping back into the barbershop because I wanted to be out on the street to see if I could get some reaction from folks on the street. But unfortunately, I can't hear you when I'm outside on the street. So I'm back in the street over by Port Authority, and I was coming in, and I was speaking to the guys here, some of the barbers, and Joey over here. He was actually in the barbershop when the earthquake hit. And this is about 10:20, I guess. And Joey, you said that you could actually feel what was the experience like when the earthquake hit?
See, I was standing right by the bathroom because me and some other guy was fighting for the bathroom.
Okay.
And then it started rumbling. I thought it was somebody's system because, you know, I ain't had the system be coming in and just be pumping. But after 5 seconds, it started rounding up to be tougher and tougher and more deep. And I was like, oh, man, yeah, him too. You know what I mean? He was about to get into it.
Okay.
Over the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
Word.
So it was definitely something that you could feel out here, Joey. Thank you so much. But it was something you could feel. Now, were things shaking on the walls? Were things swaying around? Was it like that?
No, because I was looking to see if any of these bricks over there was moving. And I could see buildings over there going to move. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So everything stayed stable. Thank goodness for that.
You know what I mean? I didn't see none of these poles moving, nothing. So I was like, it's not that serious. But Shadow was like, everybody get under the frame of the door. Get under the frame of the door. And I was like, yo, it's not that serious. It's you know what I mean?
That's right. So we're okay here, but it was a 4.6. So it definitely rattled a lot of people's nerves. But here we are going about the business, still continuing with the haircut. I was just about to get my haircut, as a matter of fact, Kurt and Rosanna, and I was sitting in the chair when all of a sudden all that information had come back in. And quite an experience. I remember the last earthquake that we had. I actually slept through that one, and this one I'm disappointed that I was down on the F train because I wanted to feel something, and this is an epic event. You don't hear about a 4.6 or something in that range here in the tri-state, really, ever.
You know what? You got to be careful if you're sitting in a chair, though. You get a little nick, and I'm sure you don't get a discount for earthquakes here. All right, thank you for the information there, Mike.
Very good, very good.
All right. I mean, it just, when you were sitting there, it felt like you were on a train.
Right.
The rumblings were so loud, right? You were shaking. I was looking at the pictures on the wall of my office. They were shaking. I'm like, maybe this building's going to blow up. I thought maybe it was something going on with the heater. You
could feel it shaking, and like, as you said, the rumble went for a long time, and it was the noise, actually. That's a little bit different, you know, at least for me.
Yeah.
Being inside a building, a high-rise building, you could hear the walls shaking and making a little bit more noise than I'm used to with the earthquakes. But officially, this is a 4.8. They've gone back. It was 4.8, then 4.7, now back to 4.8.
And it happened about 10:23. And
every tenth of a degree of magnitude is actually a big deal when you look at earthquake. The difference between a 4.7 and 4.8 is significant from a geological standpoint.
So meanwhile, the mayor's office has tweeted out that they are briefing the mayor right now, but the governor's spoken out. Morgan McKay has been keeping an eye on that. What's going on?
Yeah, so Governor Kathy Hochul tweeted pretty quickly, actually, like we were talking about, and she said that her team is assessing impacts and any damage that may have occurred, and they will continue to update the public throughout the day. And I was seeing reporters up in Albany even tweeting that they felt the rumblings even at the state capitol. So really everyone feeling the rumblings. Governor Phil Murphy also tweeting out that they have activated their state of emergency operations center. So everyone just on high alert and alerting people to not call 911, but to be aware of the situation. I'm also seeing some funny tweets about people saying, you know, Eric Adams is about to send 500,000 cops to the center of the earth, and you know, people making light of the situation. But I think everyone really glad that there wasn't any damage here in New York City.
Just getting a text from the mayor's person. Kayla, the mayor will be doing a press conference at 12 noon.
Yes.
They want us to take it live. So the boss is downstairs in the office.
Yeah.
Know that mayor is going to be talking about it very soon.
In just over an hour, about an hour and 5 minutes from now at noon. For those of us just joining us, I'm sure, well, most people felt it. Not everybody did, but most people felt it. A 4.8 earthquake centered in central New Jersey, right around Tewksbury. It happened at 10:23 this morning here. People all over New York, all over the tri-state area. I actually have some texts from people in Stamford, Connecticut feeling it as well.
So we actually talked to some people in Weehawken, New Jersey, because I guess that's a little closer to the epicenter. Let's see what they felt when this earthquake happened.
I'm on the bridge. Right before I come in through here, I feel the bridge shaking. So the first thing, I'm at the bottom of the bridge. I feel it moving. But I'm thinking, you know what, maybe the truck is coming by, and the first thing comes to me, I'm thinking about the Maryland Bridge. But you know, I'm saying maybe bridges are meant to shake a little, but shake a little, I take that bridge all the time. Anyway, long story short, I feel it shaking, I come here, I film, and then I see online about the, earthquake. So I call my mom, who's about to go on this boat. I said, Mom, I'm in Clifton. And my mom says everything was shaking in her house. She's like petrified, you know, the glass, everything. So
my friend and I were talking about a minute. We were at a diner down there in Hoboken, and it just felt like we dropped something, but nothing was dropped, and there's a little bit of clanging on our table with the silverware.
So as if we don't have enough to worry about. now we have an earthquake. What happens with the aftershocks? You're the expert in this.
Well, I mean, look, you can have aftershocks, and some you will feel, some you may not feel. They could be big. I mean, no one knows. You know, no one knows exactly when an earthquake is going to happen. You don't know what the aftershocks are going to be, but usually they're not nearly as intense as the major earthquake you feel.
Okay.
So again, this is the fourth one that's happened in the New York City area over the last week. The previous two were 2.1 and 2 at 1.8. This officially 4.8. Not only did we feel it here in the city, we felt it obviously in New Jersey, in Connecticut,